Palantir gets a big price target initiation of $35, but actually doesn't seem so bullish per the analysts, as well as a huge high profile and key hire added to their leadership. So on CNBC First this morning, former Republican Congressman from Wisconsin, Mike Gallagher, basically announced publicly now he has joined Palantir. Now, everyone has their politics around his reputation, and the biggest one pointed out from the media is his role around the bill banning TikTok. Now, he will be joining as head of defense, officially for his role at Palantir, and looks to be high up enough, unsurprisingly, to report directly to CEO Alex Karp. Essentially, he aligns with Palantir's views around artificial intelligence and what is necessary for US dominance. And what I liked about his announcement, though, is that not only will he be leveraged for the US defense business, but also looking to help with allied countries. So expansion beyond the United States is always an interesting point, but we know at least commercially right now, Palantir's bread and butter still is that business, mainly in the US. But defense seems that they may have a chance at least with the allied countries to go international. Now, in his interview on CNBC, essentially he kept it very buttoned up and continued to hit on the talking points that are very similar to Palantir and their mission. Of course, with the current election year too, some questions came around on what is happening and his viewpoint, and he didn't really point out names and kind of towed the line honestly in the middle. So we'll see how his hire works out, of course, for Palantir, and honestly, as an investor, most just care if he actually moves the dial on winning deals. And any high-profile hire like him from a former politician typically relies on relationships and connections that he has to drive business. Then we also get a surprising initiation from an analyst, but even with the higher end of price targets, they're still exercising a bit of caution. Now, we get a new market perform rating of $35, price targeted initiated by Michael Latmore from Northland Securities. Now, his thesis is that Palantir is great for the normal enterprise that have accumulated a lot of complexity around their technology stack and disconnected data. And Palantir, with their connectors and ontology, essentially makes the expensive process of rip and replace unnecessary and still allows them to leverage those older systems. And when it comes to AI too, he sees how different advancements are crucial where Palantir can elevate all three of the areas to make their decisions in a smarter way. Now, the reasoning behind this price target essentially is that the market is growing and that they can serve the growing use cases, which is becoming more and more apparent with the expansion taking place. And even though they're currently 50% government revenue, he still sees a way for them to propel away from that reliance, but still is a growth driver for them. But ultimately, with his estimate seeing a 22x price to sales ratio, he notes $35 today mainly because of that. But if a dip occurs, though, of course, he would look to be a buyer. So take anything an analyst says with a grain of salt, but definitely interesting to see an initiation of a price target at $35 today. Obviously, with the current price action, you could say they just wanted to stay relevant in the conversation, trying not to say anything crazy in the bullish or bearish direction. And this is after some time to digest the latest earnings and being away from the pack of analysts who put out the revisions basically the same week. But we'll see how it turns out as well for these other analysts starting to cover the company who may follow up after this. But what are your thoughts though below, and I'll see you in the next video.